Hey y'all, it's Elisha, and welcome back to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop. It is still Fun Friday, and I'm on during my little break because y'all know it's serious adulting time. So I'm taking my coffee break. I went and got a coffee from the bodega because, can you believe this? I'm out of coffee. That's like a serious SOS in this house. And it's storming here again. We've had storms here like daily, and it's storming, so I can't really go to the grocery store and I can't go to my regular coffee place. So I went to the bodega and said, please be very careful, because of COVID, but can I please have a coffee? So I'm on for my coffee break, and I want to draw your attention to a couple of exciting things that are going to be happening on the Hoplop this weekend. The first and foremost is that our Halloween hop starts this Sunday, and I am so excited, y'all. I'm excited because we have the most amazing lineup of new to YouTube and veteran crafters on this team. I also want to do a big thank you to Joanne, the Happy Meal Stamper, and Lauren Cunningham for being our bridge to Instagram. Y'all know my one weakness in social media is Instagram. I try, but it's a weak spot. And it's very important we maintain a bridge between YouTube and Instagram. Many subscribers who are active in our crafty family are Instagrammers, y'all. They are. And they're here every day. People like Lauren Cunningham. And so it's essential that we make sure that we are as honoring to them on Instagram as they are to us here on YouTube. And thanks to Joanne, the Happy Meal Stamper, and Lauren Cunningham, our hop will be done as much on Instagram as it is on YouTube. And for Joanne, this is double the work, y'all. So I really want to thank her for taking this on. She is as good at her Instagram account as she is at YouTube. So I was very grateful that she was willing to do this for us. So thank you, Joanne, and thank you, Lauren. The other exciting thing is that I've already uploaded a tutorial for tomorrow, and it's called a hassle-free tassel. Now, this is entirely inspired by Jelly Bean Junction. Jelly Bean sent me a little tiny tassel made for my favorite shabby trim. And that was kind of a throwdown, y'all. It was okay, can you make one? So when Jelly Bean sends you something like that for inspiration, it's definitely like the challenge is on. So sure enough, I looked at it, I examined it, and I taught myself how to make it. And I've already uploaded a tutorial for Newbie Saturday, and I teach you how to make it in literally under 10 minutes. I have simplified the process. Jelly Bean's gonna laugh when she sees how I do it, but y'all, it turns out. So, sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. What matters is the end result. And in this case, the tassel comes out perfectly. I'm pretty sure it's not the way Jelly Bean makes it. Jelly Bean is she's so practiced, y'all. 25 years of crafting, she's so practiced. But I have found a way to simplify it that I was able to make 2 of them in a 10-minute video. So in 10 minutes, you learn how to make these tassels really easily, quickly, and I show you. That video will be available for you tomorrow. Now, it's definitely made with my favorite shabby trim, but that said, these are not just good for shabby crafting. I would use these on a Dolce project. I would use these on certain Maggie projects. Certainly they'll match clean crafting if it's in certain pink and pastel tones, so you don't want to miss that tutorial tomorrow. Well, all day it's been interesting watching your votes. At some points, the purse and the bookcase were neck and neck. The purse now has a slight lead. We'll have to see what happens by the end of today. It's interesting that many of you said, why do we have to choose? Why can't we do, one week and do the other? I'm a little bit with Monty. I think there are tons of tutorials on how to make the bookcases. What I do think would make an interesting live is that if we had some of our veteran makers like Monty, like Jelly Bean, like Donna, participate, what we might be able to do is fix the glitches. So I told you all, I've now made several of those bookcases, and I have fixed some of the little glitches that I found in the construction. But there are ways we could improve upon those bookcases, and I think if we did a live where we all work together to solve the problem, we won't just learn how to make those, we'll learn how to make them really well. And I think that might be worth doing a live on. Now, did you all see Lizzie's share today? She got in a truck, a 3D truck, as a prize pack, and it was filled with those boxes. I'm going to put a link to that video down below. That was one of the most exciting 3D projects I've seen in a long time. So you see, all, if we learn how to build these well, then we can create other 3D things. So it's like that farmer's truck that we make for Christmas, for Halloween, where we put little pumpkins and things inside of it. Well, y'all, this one was filled with those book boxes, and it was an adorable project. But in order to make that, we have to learn how to build these boxes, these bookcase boxes well. So I will think about it. Obviously, you guys get the last say, But many of you said, I don't want to choose. I want to do both. So it may be worth doing a live where we work together to make these much better. Like where I draw your attention to what the problems are and together we fix them. That would make for an interesting live. Now, I'm starting to sort of figure out what a live is all about. As you all know, I don't watch them as much, and that I'll tell you why. I used to watch Lily's Crafting with Liller every time she had them because her purpose was clear. She would do a bunch of embellishments, but really all it was a party. It was a chance to chat with one another, catch up on our week, laugh. The intention really wasn't crafting. Usually Lily would make embellies with wifey and we would do our own craft projects, but really we would just chit chat. So that live to me had a very clear purpose. What confuses me sometimes about lives is, what's the point? Sometimes it's just chatting. Sometimes it's learning how to do something. So I guess my struggle with a live is, what are they for? So I'll tell you, I missed Kat's live yesterday and I was so upset I missed it. And I'm going to tell you all why. Kat did an amazing thing, and I think this is where I want my lives to go. Kat taught us how to build, because I watched the replay. She taught us how to build this really cool light up Peter Pan piece. That was just magical, y'all. Beautifully constructed. Kat makes it super simple. I'll put a link to the replay. You don't want to miss this project. But also, she's really good at chit-chatting while building. So it was sort of a little like Lily's, where it was a lot of fun and people talked about all sorts of things, but also she taught you how to make this thing at the same time. If I had to think about what I want my lives to be, I think that's what I want it to be. I want every time we do a live that you learn how to make something, but we also are able to talk. So I can't choose such complicated projects that I have to focus so much that I can't talk to you. And I don't want you focusing so much that you can't socially engage. But I definitely want each live to be that you walk away being able to make something. I was so excited last night. Lauren texted me back to let me know, she messaged me back, that she finished the book, y'all. And she was so excited. She was able to build it successfully, and now she wants to build a whole bunch more. And once you know how to build that book, you can build many others. As soon as you can build that book hinge, y'all, you know those fast food books I make? All you need are those hinges, and I'm going to show you that this weekend. All you need is to use those hinges to attach pages, and that fast food becomes a whole book. So you see, that's what I want for every live. I want you to walk away like Lauren with a finished product, but I also want you to have fun. So I think I'm figuring out my live groove. Thank you all for your patience. I do want to reset up so we have better angles, but I'll get there, y'all. I still managed to do it even with it just on my lap. Laura, Mrs. Stationery and stuff, said, wow, you can craft on your lap? And I was like, yep, I can. Now, how does that happen? I prefer to craft on that craft table. When I'm watching your videos on my big screen TV, I craft at the table. But there are some times, y'all, where it's nicer for me to craft watching your videos on my laptop. And when that happens, I've learned to craft on my lap. So yeah, I can. Now, I've uploaded that no hassle tassel tutorial for tomorrow, and that I teach you by just holding it in my hand. It's amazing how you can learn to craft in different conditions. Being in the Holy Land last year, I learned how to craft on the floor. If you all remember, that was a 300 square foot apartment. I had no craft table at all. So I learned how to use a kitchen counter. I learned how to use a floor. And I found out from many of you that that was very helpful because, for instance, Nilda and Leticia and many of you do not have designated craft spaces. So it was nice for you to see that other people can craft without having a craft room. I think that's important. We often get these craft tours, right? I'm one of the ones that watches them. I don't know about you guys. I watch them with utter envy, especially here in New York, right? Where I right now have so many things and nowhere to store them because I don't have a proper craft space here. And in Florida, as you all know, thanks to Lily's idea, I bought that amazing shelving unit from Goodwill for like $30, filled it with bins. Oh my goodness, my craft stuff is so well organized in Florida. And here it's a hot mess. I don't have space for something like that here. And so my craft organization here is sorely lacking. And I search everywhere online for ideas on how to resolve that. And the truth is, there aren't many ideas for how to store craft supplies in small apartments. And yet, I found out from many of you, you are in the same boat. You don't have a huge designated craft space. So I'm hoping over time to resolve that. I will tell you, like Linda's Thrifty Life, stuff like this solves the problem for me. Like, as I told y'all, this was one of the best things I've ever gotten. I ordered myself one, and I got gifted one. I use one for sequins, and I use the other. I was going to use it for my jewelry findings, but then I bought that caddy from Marci. So I use the other one for eyelets and other small findings, and then I'm using the caddy for my jewelry, which I'll show you this weekend. So stuff like this is life-saving because you can store so much in such a small thing. But for the most part, y'all, I don't have crafty solutions. And I'm still searching for ways. One day I hope to have my craft space here so well organized so that I can share with other people who are crafting in their bedroom, who are crafting in their kitchen, ways that you can do storage. But you know what, y'all? I have not figured it out yet. I just haven't. Now, Miss Lizzie has made a formal request for me to do an embellishment live or an embellishment tutorial. And that is super touching because y'all, if you've been here from the beginning, you know that layering and building embellishments was probably the thing I struggled with the most at first. And at first Lily helped me, and then I started to learn by looking at certain people's projects. One of those people is Lana Chen, otherwise known as Norcali Girl. As I told y'all, I did not realize I kept asking you to go look at her projects, but her channels are private. We are hoping that's going to change. Elisha recently said it to Love Letter Generation. We are so hoping that she will make a public channel. But right now, Elisha Love Generation has a video up of the birthday mail that Lana sent her. This is an excellent way for you to see why I think Lana is such an innovative maker. I'm going to put a link to that channel down below. I strongly encourage you to go look at it. What is unique about Lana Chen, otherwise known as Norcali Girl, is that she'll take Maggie or Dolce, things that, you know, we tend to see the same kind of projects when people make with it. There's a similar aestheticism, always. And she makes it new. Lana has a way of taking a collection that we've seen 1,000 times and doing something super innovative with it. She is such an artful, skilled crafter. So I'm going to put a link to Elisha Love Letter Generation's video. I strongly encourage you to watch it from beginning to end. Take a look at what Lana Chen can make, y'all, and it's going to blow you away. And we are hoping that she will very soon either have a YouTube channel or Instagram, but I think most of us are hoping for a YouTube channel. Why? Because we want to learn from her. I know that Lana doesn't realize this, but there are many of us who would quickly subscribe and watch her tutorials. Lana did come on the live last night, and I was very touched, especially since I did not announce it on Instagram. But you see, this is why it's important to maintain a bridge between Instagram and YouTube. She happened to check her YouTube, and she saw, and Lizzie had made this cute sign saying, "The Hoplop is really going live tonight," and Lana saw. So thank you for participating, Lana. It was nice to see you in there. The other people that I've learned from in terms of embellishments are Ephemeris32, Anna Silva, Tennille Paper Milkshake, and when I want restraint, Elisha Love Letter Generation, and Crafty Kimchi. Those are the people that really helped me learn how to build embellishments. So thank you, Lizzie. It was a big compliment. It means I've improved over the last 2 years. And so I have to decide, is it better to do a live or is it better to do it in a tutorial? Here's the truth. I'd like to do a series because we don't see that many vintage embellishments. I was chatting with Misty about this the other night. She never makes embellishments, y'all. Because when vintage crafting, there's so many other options that embellishments are pretty low on the making list. We have been blessed on this channel to see beautiful embellishments by Rare Root Crafts and by Elsa Cleary. We have. Those two ladies have sent in here beautiful vintage embellishments, but they're uncommon on YouTube and Instagram. So I think it would be important if we do embellishments that we do a set of Maggie Clean Crafting, we do a set of shabby, and we do a set of vintage. Because we don't see as many vintage and shabby embellishments. Jelly Bean sometimes makes them, but very few, because there are so many other things to do with shabby and vintage crafting, embellishments are not the top of the list. But for Maggie and Clean Crafters, well, they're making embellishments every week, and that's why they were great people to learn from. So I will give that a think. I will definitely either do a live or I will do a tutorial series. I have to figure out which way will best teach you how to do it, especially with my limited equipment. But thank you, Lizzie, because that was a really big compliment that you requested that, and I really appreciate it. Well, y'all, I want to tell you we have such a great weekend lined up here on the Hoplop land and a great weekend on YouTube. I also want to say we have some heartfelt prayers and well wishes that need to go out in our community. My friend Alice, absolutely Alice, as I told you, has had a very difficult year. And when I say difficult, let me underline that with a capital D. Her brother was recently in intensive care, and Alice has had a really profoundly difficult time, y'all. And it's not my news to share, it's hers. But I will tell you this. If any of you are friends with Alice, if there was ever a time Alice needs a Happy Meal or a card, it's now. It's now. I'm going to put absolutely Alice's channel down below. Those of you who are not friends with Alice, again, you could send her a card and it would just help buoy her spirits. This is going to be a very difficult time for her, and any mail she receives will make her feel much more uplifted. And just know, Alice, I'm thinking of you. I am. I'm really thinking of you. Alice popped into the live last night, and I was very surprised because I was aware of what was happening. And so I was very touched you made the time. Just know that we care about you, Alice, and we wish we could do something to alleviate your pain. We really do. The other well wishes and love we need right now is for Deb Hendrick's family. Y'all, people in her family have contracted COVID. And this is a nationwide problem, y'all. I told you, COVID does not care. It is an equal opportunist. It doesn't matter who you are. It is eager to strike. And Deb Hendrick's family has been hit. And so I'm asking for prayers and well wishes for Deb Hendrick and her family, and continued prayers, please, for Chloe and for Michael and for Marci. Marci also popped into the live last night, which was astounding. She and Belinda. Belinda's starting chemo. Marci's fighting COVID, and yet they both popped in, which was extremely nice, and it gave all of us a chance to say hello. We care about you. We miss you. We're wishing you well. But prayers continued for them, and certainly last but not least, our very sweet Sheila, who is fighting her way through recovery. And y'all, it's so exhausting. I have been there, and many of you have too. And y'all know how tiring it is, and yet she does a community post every day, which is amazing. So continued prayers for Miss Sheila as well. And my last bit of news is I have a package there with some new t-shirts and some new shorts, and I'm super excited. I have been wearing the same shirts because, as you know, I gotta wash them all the time. And my mom is like, how can you wear a t-shirt with the neck stretched out like that? And I said to her, I don't want to keep ruining my clothes. Well, I may not like Gap or Old Navy's manufacturing policies, and I don't. But they did have a good sale, so I did order some new COVID quarantine clothes. So you will have some new clothes to look at very shortly. Just some extra shorts and t-shirts and tank tops. I prefer funky clothes. What you used to see me in is much more who I am. What you're seeing me in during quarantine is like what I call kind of garbage clothes that I don't mind throwing out after they get destroyed. I teach wearable art, y'all. I prefer clothes that are funky and fun. I love punny t-shirts like the one Divian made for me, or this one. I don't like plain clothes. But during COVID, I'm a practical lady. And if I gotta wash the heck out of something, I'm not gonna ruin something I love. I have actually wanted to order t-shirts from Divian for a long time. I don't know if you all know this, but Divian in our community makes t-shirts, and she does an excellent job. The one she made me is amazing. I try not to wear it too often during COVID because I don't want it to be ruined. But I would place a t-shirt order with her, except I'm afraid I'll ruin them during COVID. But if you're looking for some quirky, fun, punny t-shirts, reach out to Divian, y'all. Reach out to Divian because she can do it. Oh, yes, she can. Well, that is my update. It's 18 minutes, and I apologize for the length, but I had a lot to cover. I will be listing everything I mentioned here down below for easy links. Check out that incredible truck that Lizzie received. Take a look at Lana Chen's so inspiring mail. Oh my goodness, her creations, y'all, are just fabulous. I suspect we'll be doing a purse for our next live, but we'll have to wait till the vote is in tonight. And I will be working on either a live series or a tutorial series for embellishments. Wishing for you a happy, healthy, and crafty weekend. Don't forget to check out the No Hassle Tassel tutorial tomorrow and our Halloween hop this Sunday. All right, y'all. Happy Fun Friday. Happy Fun Friday.